everyone, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris, and we have a hell of a show for you today. So as you know, you've heard a lot of live episodes, and you've heard a lot of, between live episodes on Facebook, live episodes at Antelope Brew, we are back to our old school recording, and it's going to be a usual show. So today is going to be our multiple-time champion, Steven, taking on me and my lovely wife, 8 months pregnant Leah, in a game hosted by Alabama's finest, Mike and Nikki. Let's go ahead. Let's pass it around, and everyone say what you're drinking. We'll start off with Mr. Steven out in Dallas with, I'm assuming, a carbonated beverage.
Okay, that's just scary. Did you put up cameras or something?
Only in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well, those ones I expect. Yeah, I'm just having a traditional Diet Pepsi today.
There we go. And Mike, I heard a beer crack earlier. What do you have?
Yeah, sorry. I tried. I waited as long as I could.
As soon as the podcast opened, it was with a beer sound.
Yep.
You waited as long as he could. 6, 7 a.m.
Yep. The man knows me well. No, I have I'm going to screw up the pronunciation because this is an Icelandic toasted porter. It is called Einstök Olgerd.
That sounds delicious.
It's actually very, very good. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the brewery name, but it's from Akureyri, Iceland. It is like literally an Icelandic toasted porter, but it's very good. It's got
a little Viking on the can.
Yeah, it does have a cool little Viking on the can. I actually bought this just up the road at a liquor store in Owens Crossroads, Alabama. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's I saw Icelandic porter and I'm like, yeah, that has to happen. So because I'm not sure I'd ever had one. It's got this nice little, it's rich chocolatey flavor. It's very good.
And Nikki, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, some very fine tap water from the fridge.
How's the pregnancy going?
Oh, it was funny. We put up all the Christmas decorations today, and it was like after you put them down, I was like, oh man, it was like instinct. I almost went and just like popped open a bottle of wine. Like it was just like it was in my DNA to just go pop it open, and I'm like, oh crap. And so I had
awesome.
A little bit of leftover eggnog that we had that, of course was non-alcoholic.
Yeah,
so
without the bourbon.
Celebratory. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, Nikki, I will tell you this. In honor of you and Leah not being able to drink tonight, I have popped open a bottle of Josh Sellers Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ooh, you're fancy tonight.
Wow.
I am fancy tonight, and it is aged 2 months in bourbon barrels, and I cannot taste it. All I taste is the wine. But when my wife is away, Chris shall drink fancy.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Leah, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, it's 9:00 where I am. I am recording from a remote location in Central Florida.
So you're drinking Surge?
Yeah, and I, since it is like after 9:00 and past my bedtime, and I am 8 months pregnant, I can't drink past like 6 p.m. Otherwise, I have to get up and pee all night long. So I'm not drinking anything, but I am, very relaxed in this big comfy bed, and that is where I'll be Skyping from today. So, yay.
Right.
Hopefully I don't fall asleep.
I hope so, too. I can't edit out your snoring. Well, let's go ahead. Let's pass it over to Mike and let Mike and Nikki tell us how today's game is going to go.
Oh, yeah. How's it going to go?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty much standard format, 4 rounds, 4 questions each round. There's no pregame. And then there's a halftime question and a final question. Wager all, final question, you can wager all the points you've accumulated, and that's the only question where you'll stand to lose points. Each question is going to be 10 points apiece. It occurs to me we should probably keep score.
Yes,
so,
we should.
You got it. All right. So Nikki's going to keep score. So I'm going to do the first 2 rounds in the halftime, and then Nikki's going to bring us home. Fair warning, I'm not used to writing trivia games. Chris requested a game that I write a game because he said that he was itching to play, and he's been writing a lot of games. So I don't really have a good sense of. Sometimes, you know how it is. Sometimes, well, Chris, you actually had one where in the most recent podcast where you thought a question was really hard and it turned out to be really easy, or vice versa. I don't actually remember, but you know how it is. Sometimes you don't know exactly where your questions are in the scheme. So these could be really easy. They could be really hard. I don't know. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, I'm going to regret this because I did ask Mike to write a game because I have been writing so many games recently and I haven't been able to play in a while. And I did that before realizing that it would end up being against Steven. So I'm regretting this decision already. I may have to retire from trivia playing after this, but babe, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We going to lose?
No.
Well, with that attitude, yeah.
We gonna lose with dignity.
Get pumped, Chris.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Come on, I believe in you.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
Okay.
Well,
Let's go.
it's the year of positive thinking. Come on.
The year's over in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, you got
Well,
2 more
now's
days
the time to think positive while you can.
That's a good point.
Amen, Stephen. Thank you.
All right, let's get into this, everyone.
All right, here we go. Round 1, question number 1. And I will say, in my opinion, this is the hardest question of the entire game. So
I'm starting with the hardest
I'm starting with the hardest question, in my opinion. So the category is sports. Everyone knows Jackie Robinson was the first black player in Major League Baseball in the modern era. But he only broke the color barrier in the National League. Who was the first black player in the American League? And for 5 bonus points, what team did he play for?
Oh, God, I've heard this.
I hope you heard it. I just asked the question.
Well,
I like this question. I have no idea what it is, but I like it.
I like it, too. I don't know who the hell it is.
I feel like I have an inkling for the bonus points, but no clue what the actual answer is.
The bonus points, you can get them even if you don't get the actual questions. So.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can let Steven lock in, babe. Then we can talk it out.
Okay.
Okay, I can lock in with something then.
All righty. Chris and Lee, it's up to you.
talk it out.
All right.
So when would this have been? Like the 50s, 60s, 70s?
Not the 70s, no.
So when was Jackie? That was the 60s?
50s, I think. Late 50s.
Okay.
Mid to late 50s. So I'm trying to go back and think. I'm not going to get the guy's name. I'm just not. I'm assuming it's a guy. It's got to be a guy. I make jokes when I
Very
can.
astute observation there, Chris.
You have just eliminated half the population, so that's pretty good.
I'm closer. I'm getting closer.
Stupid patriarchy.
So the teams that are coming to mind in the American League, I don't think.
Yeah, that were around back then.
Like if it was the Yankees, we'd know. So to me, the Yankees, the Red Sox are out because they would lay claim to it. So I'm trying to think of smaller teams that would have been around back then. The Orioles come to mind. The White Sox come to mind. The Indians come to mind.
Anything in the West Coast or the Central? Like the Angels weren't around back then, right?
No.
The Mariners.
The Athletics
no.
were, but I don't know if they were American or National League back then.
No
They
Rangers.
probably always were. No, the Rangers didn't come around to the 60s.
Royals.
I don't know
Or
when
are
the
they
Royals
National
came
League? I don't
around.
remember.
No, I don't know when the Royals came around. Oh, man. Could it be like...
I don't think it'd be like the Twins or anything like that. Like I don't know. I'm feeling more East Coasty.
I'm coming.
Or the
I keep
White
coming.
Sox.
I keep coming back to the Midwest for some reason. I'm coming back to the White Sox and I'm coming back to the Indians, and I don't know why.
Can you name any player from either of those teams?
Back then,
Yeah.
I can go before then and do Shoeless Joe Jackson.
And I can do later than that and say Frank Thomas.
Okay, yeah.
But
So,
that's about it.
I don't. But
I will give you a hint that it's neither of those two players.
Okay.
I'm just tempted to say the Indians and lock that in. I really don't know. It's some
Okay.
for some reason that's what's popping to the top of my head, but I don't know why.
Do you want to guess a last name just for fun?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter from the Cleveland Indians?
We'll go. We're going to go with Potter as our guest. The last name of Potter, and we're going to say the Potter with the Indians.
Are you going with the Cleveland Indians
And last name of Potter?
Yes.
Okay.
All righty, Stephen, what did you have?
Well, since I don't know who the person is, obviously I just have to guess the best I can. And since the most common last name on the planet is Wang, and the most common first name in the planet is Muhammad, obviously it was Muhammad Wang. And I also guessed the Cleveland Indians. That sounded right to me.
All righty. Well, you're both getting 5 bonus points. It was the
Holy-
Cleveland Indians.
Okay.
Oh, good job.
And Chris and Leah, you guys were closer than you think
Okay.
because the player's last name is Dobby.
Seriously?
Larry Dobby for the Cleveland Indians.
That's hilarious.
Oh
And
my
he-
God.
He made his major league debut less than a month after Jackie Robinson.
Wow.
So it wasn't like Jackie Robinson and then a huge gap.
Oh my
Wow.
God. Okay.
Hopefully that's
yeah.
good for us to remember. We'll remember that for the future. It's hard to forget Dobby.
Nick, all credit to Nikki on that. When when you guys said that, she smacked me and she's going, Dobby, Dobby, Dobby. So that was really funny, guys. Yeah. But like I said, I knew that was a tough question. But good job on both of y'all for getting Cleveland Indians. Hopefully it will get easier from here.
I'll throw that out there to the Harry Potter pops I have sitting on the end of the table that I was looking at before I came over here.
Hey, you never know what's going to get you there. Right?
Oh man. All right. We got some points, babe. We're not losing to Steve yet, so.
Now, each of you guys have 5 points.
That's right. Round 1, question number 2. Your category is Hooray for Tax Breaks. According to Forbes, what was the largest U.S. nonprofit in 2019 with over $3.3 billion in private donations? Hey, it's expensive to save kids from Peyton Manning.
He has a lot of little things at the end of his question.
I like
I
the
like
little
it.
button there.
Save kids.
It's very cute.
Thank you, babe.
Oh man, I know what that's a reference to, but I don't know what the name of the non-for-profit is. Mike, what was the amount again?
$3.3 billion in private donations.
Let us know when you're locking in.
$3.3 billion in private donations. Oh Lord.
Okay,
I
I can lock in, but I don't know if this is the official name of the charity, but I think I can guess it.
Okay. Chris and Leah, it's on you.
Okay,
All right.
so
Well, so I'm picturing if it's something that Peyton Manning does, he's probably on a commercial.
yeah, I'm
So,
thinking. So the
I was
safe
thinking St.
kids.
Jude,
St. Jude's what came to mind as well.
but there's a lot of celebrities that are like on the St. Jude's commercials. It's like Jennifer Aniston, and it's so and so, and it's so and so. Like, I can't necessarily picture Peyton Manning as like one of the leads because usually Jennifer Aniston is one of the leads on those commercials.
No, but there is an SNL episode where Peyton Manning hosted, and it's literally just him pegging. I think it's Peyton. I think Eli did it as well, but it's literally just Peyton Manning like pegging little kids with footballs.
Oh. Is
And
that
like
a
swearing at him up and
thing
down and
you
things like
can-
that. That could be Eli. I could be mixing up my damn Mannings. For all I know, that could be Elle Fanning. I really don't know, but I think it's Peyton Manning. St. Jude sounds right because the only other one that kind of came to mind would be Make-A-Wish, but I don't think Make-A-Wish pulls in that kind of money.
No.
So you want to go to St. Jude?
Well, is there anything that's do we know? So he gave the hint about the kids. That's why we're focusing on the kids.
Yeah, and I think
So I was like,
I
is there
think,
any not profit like American Red Cross or something like that?
well, no, but I'm thinking that's a reference to the SNL skit, but I don't know what. I really don't know what charity that would have been for.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling it's all in fun. It's all a joke. So they'd probably use a real charity name in the skit. But I wouldn't know what charity it is. That's why I think St. Jude might be our best bet.
That's fine.
What other ones focus on kids other than St. Jude and Make-A-Wish?
UNICEF. I just know I buy their Christmas cards every year.
The Human Fund. Cash for people.
Money for people.
Money for people.
So Steven is locked in with the Human Fund.
No, he hasn't.
Leah has not seen that episode of Seinfeld, so
I was just sitting here thinking, Nikki, we stopped trying to get through Seinfeld about 4 seasons before that episode, I think.
I didn't mind.
I know you didn't. We
have television ADD.
Yeah, pretty much.
okay. Yeah, Leah, I don't know of anything better than St. Jude.
Okay.
And I just think
let's just go with that.
So you guys locking in
Susan
with that?
G. Komen pulls in a lot of money. So, no, but it's the kids. The kids is the hint that I'm missing.
Right. I think that's why we're focused on that.
Yeah, let's do. We'll lock in with St. Jude.
Okay, and Steven, what'd you have?
I, too, remember this from the SNL sketch where Peyton Manning's taking all the kids, and I'm pretty sure it was for the United Way.
Yeah, it is the United Way.
And Steven is dead on, balls accurate. It is the United Way.
I had the right skit. I couldn't get the charity.
I'm glad you guys both picked up on the SNL reference, though, because that's classic.
Yeah, that was a great one. And that was also he did the picks for the NCAA tournament where Amy Poehler was the other person that had a perfect score, and she was picking just based on uniform colors and crap.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right. Round 1, question number 3. Your category is geography is more than bodies of water, Chris. All right, I actually have a feeling this one will be pretty easy for you guys, but we'll see how you do. What is the largest island in the world that is also a sovereign nation?
There's one really obvious one, and I'm just going through my head to figure out if I'm not walking into a trap.
So, Mike, this is the entirety of this island as a nation, so there's no other... It's not like a group of islands put together is the largest by XYZ. It's this one individual island that's its own nation?
That's correct, yes.
Is that what sovereign means? Because I was going to ask that.
Yes.
Okay.
And largest by land area, by population?
Sorry, but largest by land area.
Leah, I have a decent guess.
Okay.
So if you're okay with me locking in, I can.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll lock. Steven, talk it out.
Okay, so if you're locked in, I know that like the largest, if you count all of its islands by land area, is Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But by the wording of the question, I don't know if that one would count because not one individual island would be large enough, I would think.
No, it's a single individual island.
Okay, so from the wording of the question, I'm going to assume Australia is the correct answer. So I'll go ahead and guess Australia.
Ooh.
Although that's probably wrong, judging by the ooh.
So my understanding is that Australia is a continent, not an island.
Oh, are we not counting it then? Because it's completely surrounded by water. So in my book, it's an island.
That's actually what I'm looking up right now because I don't know if islands are separate from continents because I don't recall Australia being on the list when I was looking through the.
It's not going to be on the list because it's technically a continent.
Okay, Australia comprises multiple islands as a country, so it would not qualify under this question.
Oh yeah, because Tanzania, amongst others.
Well, that's different then. Crap. Well,
but no, that made me go. I was like, why did that not come up? That's why, because it also includes Tasmania.
Okay. Well, every country's going to have little off-land islands.
I don't know if this one does or not, but
okay.
That's fair.
Well, if that's the case, let's go through. So Greenland's not independent.
This is why I just shouldn't ask geography questions.
The little archipelagos. Oh, I know. I'm going to take a guess here at Madagascar.
Okay, Steve's locked in with Madagascar. Chris and Leah?
We locked in Madagascar as well, but Madagascar has got other little outlying islands that are a part of it. I just don't know what incorporates.
Any non-landlocked country was going to have little islands.
Yeah,
so.
I know it's got one with not a large city, but at least something with a city. Because I've looked at Madagascar before. There's a couple of islands to the north that have populations off the coast of Madagascar. I don't know why I called it that, but
okay, I don't either. But yeah, anyway, the answer that I had was in fact Madagascar.
I believe it's Madagascar.
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 But so yeah, like I said, that's probably why I shouldn't ask geography questions. I just pulled up Wikipedia and I said list of world's islands and I scrolled that and I sorted by size, and then I eliminated Greenland because I didn't want Greenland to be the answer.
Well,
I was going to say, because that's what I would have said was Greenland. So
but Greenland still somewhat reports to Denmark. I know they're an autonomous nation, but yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just pull that up again. But you guys are both getting points, but now it's just going to bother me. That's why I just found out why I didn't see Australia was because there on the Wikipedia entry there's a separate category. There's a separate category for continental land masses.
Well, I hate to be a stickler and defend my own point, but that entire landmass is a single country surrounded by water.
You are correct. You are correct. Yeah, like I said, this is why I just shouldn't do geography.
I thought it was a good question.
What's that?
I thought it was a good question.
Well, thank you, Chris. All right, so your fourth question of round one, I'm going to give you. I actually have two variations of this question: an easy one and a hard one. And I'm going to give you guys the category. And if you both vote to have the hard one, you get the hard one. Otherwise, you get the easy one.
Okay. There it is again.
Category. I think I got that backwards. If you both vote to have the easy one, you get the easy one. Otherwise, you're getting the hard one. Does that make sense?
So you're telling me that I can say, Mike, give me the hard one, and you will?
That is an affirmative. It's like a dream come true, I know.
I'm going to finish this bottle of wine.
Wow.
All right, category. Your category is Calvin and Hobbes.
You can give us the hard one.
Steven says hard one. What do you guys say? I guess it doesn't matter what you guys say.
No, it doesn't matter what we say.
All righty. Here's the question. Calvin and Hobbes have a cardboard box that serves multiple imaginary purposes in the comic strip. What is it when it's facing open side down? And for 5 bonus points, what are the other 2 purposes it also serves?
Oh, God.
If you need time to think about it, I'll go ahead and let you log in.
Steven, does that mean you're locked in?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and lock in.
Okay. Personally, you guys can talk it out.
Okay.
Are Calvin and Hobbes animals?
It's a little boy and his tiger.
Oh, that's cute. Which one is which?
Calvin's the boy.
Oh. And Hobbes is the tiger? Okay.
Yes. They're named after John Calvin and Thomas Hobbes because that's the intellectual ideals that they have.
Basically, yes.
Okay, and they carry a box with them.
Yeah,
apparently. Sometimes. Do you think it's like a intellectual, like, I don't know, because I'm thinking like, oh, if it's a little boy and the box is open at the top, then it serves as like an airplane and it flies some places, or a submarine or something like that. But is this like an adult comic? So it's probably not something.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think it's, given the material for where they got Calvin and Hobbes from, I don't think it's something that simple. I think it's a little more intellectual.
Like existential and stuff. Like it's going to use all those. Like,
I want to say there's one where it's a time machine.
Cool.
But that doesn't seem to make sense if it's upside down.
How about a time machine and a teleportation device? And
So what if it's upside down? If the box is upside down, what if it's like a submarine?
Okay.
And then if it's like maybe it's on its side, what would you do? Teleportation? How would you do teleportation? Makes
I
more
don't
sense if
know.
it's upside down, right?
I don't know. I've never teleported before.
Okay, I'm thinking
Sounds fun,
if it's
though.
upside down, it's like a teleportation machine. And then if it's like where it's open sides on the top and you have the box, like you're inside the box, like you're sitting in the box, maybe that's like a time machine.
That's the time machine one. Okay.
And then the only other way a box can go is going to be with the opening
Side.
on its side. Okay, so we're going to say if it's upside down, so if it's like if they're inside the box, that is a transporter, like a teleportation device. I'm
Oh, I thought
saying
that was the time machine one. Like a DeLorean.
so. One allows you to travel through
Vroom, vroom.
time. One allows you to travel through space. One allows you to travel through. Mike, do we need to match
ocean.
up the direction of the damn box with the correct answer, or do you just want 3 answers?
No. So the correct answer is going to be whichever one it is when the box is facing open side down. The other 2 directions are just bonus.
Yeah. So, babe, I'm tempted to say open side down to submarine, and then the other 2 are going to be time machine and teleportation device.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
We'll lock in with that.
Okay, sounds good. Steven, what did you have?
Okay, I feel a little guilty about this one because on the desk where my computer is, there's literally a stuffed tiger that I call Hobbs. I'm a huge fan, so I can tell you that when it's upside down, the cardboard box is the transmogrifier, which
What
when
the
you press
hell?
the button goes boink. That transmogrifier will turn you into anything you want to turn it into. If you flip the box right side up, then that is in fact the time machine.
Okay.
And then if the opening is on the side, it's the duplicator, which lets you clone things.
Oh.
And don't forget to add an ethicator if you want to make sure whether the things you clone are good or evil. But Steven is
That
dead on.
was the original mistake, yes.
Yes, but what Steven said was in fact the correct answer.
All you need to remember is that scientific progress goes boink.
That is right.
Oh my lord!
well done, Steven.
I didn't read comic strips as a kid. Good pull, Steven. That wasn't my jam.
Yeah, I was huge into Calvin Hobbes, so.
Yeah, I was a big Calvin and Hobbes fan, and I was just thinking of it the other day, and I went, I don't think Calvin and Hobbes has ever come up on this in trivia games on this podcast, so I had to ask a question. That was the one I came up with.
That's because
Yeah,
I
good
write most of
call.
the trivia games and I don't read comic strips.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Man, I'm finding holes in my lexicon of trivia knowledge, so that's a good thing. I gotta learn more about comic strips and art.
Literally, I just finished a picture the other day of Baby Groot and Baby Yoda next to each other, and I realized as I was drawing Baby Groot's feet that I still draw like my roots for a tree the same way Bill Watterson draws trees in Calvin and Hobbes. I learned it from drawing and copying him, and it's still with me apparently.
From you, okay? I learned it from watching you.
Steven, I'm sorry. The one that it actually is not even a word, though, right? What'd you call it? A transmogrifier? Transmogrifier?
Transmogrifier.
That's not even a word.
Sure it is.
Do you understand what it means when I say transmogrify something?
No.
No.
Oh, well, I guess it's not a word then.
It's okay. Leah got my friend's joke, so I'm happy.
I did.
Oh, I totally missed your friend's joke.
He's a
transmonster. Transmonster.
That's not even a word. All right. Round
All right, guys,
2.
at the end of round 1, Chris and Leah have 15 and Steven has 40.
Wow. It's like a tennis game. Tennis match.
Oh, God.
That's right.
And this
Yeah.
episode never sees the light of day.
All right. Well, hopefully you guys will find some room to make a little bit of a comeback here.
Yeah.
In round 2, your first category is advertising.
Ugh.
You can tell how thrilled we are.
I can't. If I asked you, According to the website 24/7 Wall Street, who has spent the most money on Super Bowl commercials all time as of Super Bowl 53, you'd probably answer Budweiser. And honestly, it's not even close. But what company is number 2?
That's a very good question.
I was feeling really smart, and then you told me I couldn't answer the Budweiser one. So
yeah, that was why I phrased the question that way.
I have 2 guesses. Do you want me to text them to you, Chris?
No, let's let Steven lock in and talk it out. I've got a couple that come to mind.
you're going to let me log in. Okay, I can lock in with something. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I was thinking either Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Or a luxury car. But I couldn't think of a luxury car. So
Yeah, well, I think with cars, I think the car is more of a newer thing. I don't remember cars being huge. Mike, you're looking for an actual
and Pepsi have both been consistent for a large amount of time. I feel like Pepsi commercials are generally more expensive because they get more like celebrities to do them and musical musicians. There you go, musicians to do them and things like that. So I feel like they probably have the bigger budget to do it. Coca-Cola, I know, just has been around for a long time, and is like timeless and is more like classic commercials that are usually like.
Yeah, so I remember. So this is what I'm thinking. The first Pepsi does have more stars. I think they've had more stars from the jump. But the way I'm hearing this, the way I'm listening to Mike read it, I don't think it matters how much they spent on the commercial. I think they're talking about the amount of commercial space and how much money they spent on the commercial space, not on the commercials themselves. And so Budweiser's number 1.
Because they do a lot of commercials during one Super Bowl.
Yeah. So if Budweiser's number 1, I don't think a beer company is going to be up there. Coca-Cola is the one that comes to mind next.
And I feel like Pepsi does more commercials during the Super Bowl than Coke does. But I feel like Coke has been doing it for longer.
And I think Pepsi was...
I feel like
I think
late 80s,
in my
early
childhood,
90s.
I remember them both being very heavily involved in the Super Bowl. But I think Coke's got the staying power to be there longer.
Right.
So my guess is going to be Coke, but I don't. Zero.
Can you think of anything besides Coke or Pepsi?
Oh, I mean, we know
The only other
Budweiser's
one
number
was
1.
like Doritos or something, but
Doritos is a newer phenomenon. You want something that's been around for a while. So like Pepsi, Coke have been around for a while. Budweiser's been around for a while. Miller Lite, Coors Light, they've been around for a while. I mean, hell, it could be Ford for all I know. But I just think of the big companies that have done this, and Coke is the one that, to me, comes to mind the most because I kind of figure they put a lot of money into their commercials. Even though the most recent years haven't been, like, memorable, I just seem to remember a lot of Pepsi and a lot of Coke commercials. And I just think Coke's been doing it longer.
Okay, we can go with Coke.
That's my thought.
I like Coke. I like the Coke commercials better than the Pepsi commercials because they're more classy.
Wasn't there one? Didn't Pepsi do one with Ray Charles? Like, am I wrong there?
They do a lot. They do like there was a Britney Spears one. They do a lot of like flashy.
Hold on, let's do that. Mike, can you read the question one more time to make sure we're approaching this right?
Sure. You want me to simplify it to what I'm really asking?
Yeah, make it dumb
Yes,
for the dumb
please.
people.
According to the website 24/7 Wall Street, who has spent
Can you spell that for me? Hold on, I need to get my phone. Who has spent the most money on Super Bowl advertising?
Who has spent the second most money on Super Bowl commercials all time as of Super Bowl 53 after Budweiser?
And so, Leah, I hear that, and I don't think it takes the actual cost of the commercial, and I think it's, the most money getting they're buying the commercial time, and that's
Right.
I'm thinking Coke.
Okay, let's do Coke.
Okay,
Let's do Coke.
All right, so Chris and Lee are locked in with Coke. Steven, what are you locked in with?
So I actually said Pepsi, and the reason I did is because it's not only including Pepsi, but PepsiCo owns like Doritos and a whole bunch of chip brands that are also big-time Super Bowl ads. So I think if you put those together, if you put like the Pepsi commercials and the Doritos commercials, they're probably going to go through.
Is Pepsi own Frito-Lay?
Yeah.
I think that's part of PepsiCo.
So your correct answer is, in fact, Pepsi.
Woohoo!
So dumb.
Coca-Cola is number 3.
Oh, it's close.
So you guys were very close in your thinking.
We spent a lot of time talking out wrong answers.
Okay,
think
we've
we
heard
need to
this.
abbreviate
When
our
Chris
thought
is
process a
passionate
little
about
bit.
something, go the other direction.
And I'll be completely honest, I'd have to look up to see if it was just for the ad slot or if it was the whole amount of money spent on the commercials. I honestly don't know. But I agree with Chris's logic that the way I read it was basically the most ad slots. More or less. Most money spent on ad slots. So I thought your guys' logic was completely sound.
Yeah, because I thought that the Super Bowl had something where it was like for a 30-second commercial, it was like $2 million for a company to like buy in or something. Like I thought it was like a set price.
Right. I mean, I think it's different depending on where you are in the game, but.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense too.
All righty. Round 2, question number 2. Your category is in literature.
Literature.
This is a straightforward question. What famous novel opens with the sentence, "It was love at first sight"?
I know this. I've heard this before.
If you know, you better lock in because I have no clue.
Oh my God, why do I know this? Why don't I know that? I know it. I've...
Let us know when you're ready to lock in.
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one.
Oh. Yes. Locked in. Leah, I'm going to send you the answer, what I think it is.
Okay. And I don't know what it is, so.
Mike, do you want me to send you the answer?
No, that's okay. I trust it.
That's it.
Maybe. Go ahead and send it to me anyway. Steven, you want to talk it out?
Well, I have no clue what it was. I'll take this opportunity to tell you my favorite opening line from any book, and that is from The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is, "There was a boy called Eustace Clarence Scrubb, and he almost deserved it."
I love that opening line. I've never read the book, but I actually knew that opening line. Could not have told you what book it was.
Yeah, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I have no clue about this one, so if Chris gets it, more power to him.
Okay, so
are you bowing out, Steve?
Yeah, I bow out.
Okay. Chris and Leah?
I remember reading part of this book in high school, and I couldn't remember what book it was. But then I'm thinking back to who's writing the question and where is it coming from. And I know for a fact that Mike has gone on a couple of tangents on previous episodes about Joseph Heller. And the only Joseph Heller book I can think of.
we had that question twice in one night.
The only Joseph Heller book I can think of off the top of my head is Catch-22. And so, like,
do you know what that's about?
I think it's a satire set during a war, but I don't remember if that's right. I could be confusing it with something else from high school, but I don't know. But Joseph Heller definitely wrote Catch-22. So that's what I'm going with. Because I know Mike has mentioned Joseph Heller more than once on the show.
And it was one that neither of you or I really knew much about.
Because I want to say, like, there was a question about this is what the book was about, and then Mike said, "Oh my God, that's a book by Joseph Heller." And then later on, he went on a tirade about Joseph Heller. And then I'm like, okay, that helps me get to Joseph Heller and tie it back to Mike. And the only book I know Joseph Heller wrote is Catch-22. I don't know a single damn thing other than that he wrote.
Okay, well,
but I knew I was supposed to read Catch-22 in Mrs. Oh, who was it? Not Mrs. Fox. Hold on. Oh, what was my English teacher? Oh my gosh.
Mike is crying right now.
Because I'm probably way wrong. I am probably so damn wrong. It's not funny. But Catch-22 was on my reading list in high school, and I think it was like a summer reading list, and I remember at one point trying to read all the books and then giving up because I didn't care. But Catch-22 is one of those that I definitely started reading. I do not remember a single thing about it.
All right. Is Catch-22 your final answer?
Yes. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Sweet and merciful Jesus. The correct answer is Catch-22.
Oh, yes!
Oh,
Holy
I've read that
shit.
one too. I feel bad about it.
So it is a satire set during World War II.
Is it World War II? Okay.
One of my favorite. I don't know if it's true or not, but one of my favorite stories about Joseph Heller is he was giving an interview towards the end of his life, and the interviewer asked, "What do you say to your critics who said that you never wrote a novel as good as Catch-22, which was his first novel?" And he replied, "Who has?" But yes, no, yeah, that one's a little unfair if you know me and have heard me talk about my affinity for that novel.
It's fair. I've read Catch-22, and I actually really love the book. I just could not remember the opening line.
Thank you, Michael, for that tirade you went on like a month and a half ago show.
I was probably drunk.
You think?
Yeah.
I think that was in our back to school episode. So I think that was back in like August.
Ah, okay. Oh, I probably did because that was.
Because I think you
Chris,
picked the literature category.
I was the same thing, Chris. I was assigned to read it in school by my writing teacher.
Oh, God. I thought this book was a lot older than it is.
It's 1960. I think 60 or 61.
I'm pulling it up on Wikipedia right now. Yeah, 61.
Yeah. It's a fantastic book. I would highly recommend it.
Yeah.
He began writing in 53. The novel was published in 61. Okay.
I mean, it's a read. Like you have to kind of commit yourself to it, but it's really, really good.
It's worth it.
It is. It's good. I mean, it's my favorite book, so I'm biased. All right, good job, Chris and Leah. Round two.
Free Christmas. My God. That's the one literature I'm going to get.
Hey, take them when you can get them. All right, round two, question number 3, and I will tell you this is probably my favorite question of the game.
You need a piece of paper.
And you should probably grab a piece of paper.
And a writing utensil.
And a writing utensil. Thank you. Yeah, just the piece of paper isn't going to get you very far.
And your phone would work too.
Yeah, a phone where you can. Yeah.
But I'm old school. I have to write this kind of stuff.
I'm still riding high on Joseph Heller, so give me a second.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Even good?
We're good.
All right. Here we go. Round 2, question 3. Your category is genuine class. Periodic anal odor is a rather unfortunate anagram for the name of which Academy Award-winning actor who made his cinematic debut in the classic film Critters 3. Do you need me to repeat it?
Academy Award-winning actor?
Correct. And the anagram, again, is periodic anal odor.
And that's his like first and last name?
Correct. Yeah.
Or like
just
full
first
like official name.
Yeah.
Yeah, first and last name. I don't know whether it's his given name or not, but it's the name you know him by.
Hopefully I can spell all those words right. Let's see.
I'm not good at the jumble. I don't like this.
Critters. I'm not going to get there from that.
No, I was like, I'm definitely not either. I'm just going to mix up the letters and see what I can come up with.
I actually worried whether, because I was like, the Critters 3 thing might be obvious if you've actually heard that little nugget of information before. But, and again, for our listeners at home, that's periodic anal odor. Nikki's contemplating her life choices right now, I think.
I want to know how in the hell you came up with this.
I actually Googled celebrity anagrams, and there were a couple, and I picked the one that I thought was funniest, but there were a couple good ones.
Okay, so you did say it was a him, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blow your ears out, but I think I might have something.
I did say he made his cinematic debut in the classic film Critters 3. That is correct. And for the record, I believe Critters was actually more than a trilogy. I believe they made 4.
So just because where's my mic? Just because periodic anal odor has 3 words doesn't necessarily mean that the actor is going to have 3 names.
That's correct. It could be one name, like Madonna.
I can lock in.
All right, Steven is locked in.
Okay, so this is Leah. This is how I'm going about it.
Okay.
The original Critters came out in the mid '80s, which puts Critters 3.
I love how you're taking a completely different path.
I know. I'm sitting here picturing Steve like going through all the letters.
I'm not going to get there that way. I need to limit my search function here, which puts Critters 3. If Critters came out between 84 and 86, 87, Critters 3 would have come out between earliest 89, latest 91, 92, 93. So, and if this is someone's first role, there's two lines of thought, right? It's either, to me, they're either going to be a child actor.
Right, because they wouldn't do Critters 3 after they were already.
So let's say Critters 3 was 90. If they're a child actor, that means they would have been born between 75 and 85, right? That would put them between 5 to 15 years old, and that puts them in their 40s now. Or, I mean, even if they're like a teenager, they're what, in their 50s now? I don't think if this is going to be their quote-unquote first role, when Mike says that tells me it's someone that's been acting for a while.
I think I have it.
Oh.
Do you want to continue talking it out? I don't know if the spelling is...
Please let Chris continue to talk it out, okay. Please.
What do you have?
Well, I was just paying attention to the key letters that are not common in a lot of names.
I tried that. I came up with P and L.
Oh, mine were P and C that I were looking at. So I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
All right, let's check. So,
because I saw the DIC at the end of periodic, and that made me land on DiCaprio.
It is Leonardo DiCaprio. Holy crap. D-I...
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to spell his name, so that's why I was like, I don't have the energy to plan it out, but...
Oh my, you got it.
The dick in periodic is what...
The dick got it for you?
The DIC part.
Hold on, so let me backfill this on my end then. Hold on. So, if Leonardo DiCaprio was in... If Leonardo DiCaprio, who's got to be, what, mid-40s right now? Early to mid-40s right now? We'll call him mid-40s right now. That would have put him, what, 15 or so in 1990?
Because he did Basketball Diaries in like 92, 93 or something
He did
What's
It in Gilbert Grape around that time as well.
I think he's already guest starred on The Growing Pains at that point, hasn't he?
Yeah, Growing Pains I think was, either.
But you, Mike, did you say cinematic debut or acting debut?
I said cinematic debut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he probably had already done.
Well, regardless of what happens, Leonardo DiCaprio fits periodic anal odors.
Okay.
We're going to go with Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay. And my logic is not, I'm going to keep drinking.
All right, they are locked in with Leonardo DiCaprio. Steven?
Yes, I had Leonardo DiCaprio too. And I'll add on, not only is it DIC, but it's actually DICA if you smush the anal next to the periodic.
Most likely, this was something that occurred occasionally on the set of The Revenant, which was the movie that finally won him the Academy Award. The correct answer is definitely Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, I forgot to even think about the Academy Award part.
Born on Veterans Day, 1974. So Chris's logic was very close in that regard.
Wow. Okie dokie.
And Critters 3 came out in 91, so Chris was very close there, too.
Good job, babe.
Well, am I right that Critters came out like mid-'80s?
I didn't look up when Critters 1 came out. But yeah, you're probably about right.
Okay.
We're just going to assume you're right.
Yeah, I can look it up, but...
I just love that your path to finding the answer was, I know the decade that the first movie and the third movie came out in was. Like, you were
I was trying to narrow down like my because if I'm trying to figure it out by an anagram, there's too many letters there. My mind does not work that way. I need to shorten my sight a little bit, and that's how I did it. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. But I'm glad you guys humor me.
Round 2, question number 4. Your category is people who, unlike Stanley Kubrick, actually directed Psycho.
That's your one.
Wow.
And that's my one. The question is, Alfred Hitchcock directed over 50 films, but one was actually a remake of one of his own films from 22 years earlier. Name the film.
So it's the same both times?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
I think I do know this.
I've heard this before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can
I've
lock it
seen
in.
this. I'm pretty sure I've seen all of his movies.
Steven's locked in.
Steve, are you locked in?
Yeah, I'll lock in.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's name Alfred Hitchcock movies. I have Psycho, Birds, and Rear Window. Those are the only three I can think of. Did he direct all three of those?
Well, we all know that
Yes,
Stanley
yes, he
Kubrick
did.
directed Psycho.
I already used my one per cast, so I'm not going to make another joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there were multiple Psychos, and I know there were multiple Rear Windows.
Well, we don't talk about Gus Van Sant.
Okay, so he did not direct both of those. Okay.
No,
Because the
He did
Psycho
not.
I'm thinking of has Vince Vaughn, and the Rear Window I think has Johnny Depp. So Alfred Hitchcock was probably dead before those movies came out.
yes.
Leah, I will tell you, Secret Window is actually a very underrated movie, but it has nothing to do with Rear Window.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
So he's done
I'm out.
North by Northwest.
What about Birds? Was Birds
Yeah,
a remake?
he did Birds. I've seen one called like Sabotage of his.
Topical.
Keep going.
He did The Man Who Knew Too Much. He did.
You've only got like 40 more films you can name. So.
I know. I have not seen all of his movies. I'm trying to think of one. Strangers on a Train, but I think that was a book first.
I think you're thinking of Throw Mama from the Train.
No.
But you're only thinking about one versions of all of these movies, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would be a movie that he would have needed maybe technology to catch up with that he could redo later?
Ooh, Vertigo. Did you say Vertigo? I
He
forgot
did
about
Vertigo. Vertigo's not a bad guess. North by Northwest isn't a bad guess either. I go back to it like Rear Window. I don't think it's Rear Window. I don't think it's The Man Who Knew Too Much. I don't think it's obviously not Psycho. Okay, so if we have it down to Vertigo or North by Northwest. Yeah, I think it might be Vertigo because I think there's more in-camera work done in that movie than there is in most others.
So you're thinking just for technology?
I think
Wise,
I'm thinking, why would a director remake his own work, right? That why? And the thing that kind of makes me go that way is, what if you made a movie and then technology changed to allow you to make a better version of that movie? And the movies of
Or you
his
can
that would
make
have
the
happened.
birds scarier and more lifelike.
Well, yeah, but the birds were actual birds. There wasn't a whole lot that was changed, I don't think, in regards to it. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of special effects necessarily in that. Whereas
I trust you. This is your area of expertise.
North by Northwest, I feel like there's more, and then Vertigo, I feel like there's more. Yeah, I think Vertigo might be our best bet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll lock in with Vertigo.
Okay. Steven, what did you lock in with?
I think they mentioned it. I'm pretty sure it's The Man Who Knew Too Much. And I remember, like, I got one of those super cheap, like, 10 Hitchcock films for $10 things, and it had an original British version on it. So I think I've seen both versions of The Man Who Knew Too Much.
Oh,
I don't remember that movie being, like, maybe my logic's wrong. I don't remember The Man Who Knew Too Much being overly complex, but
maybe
Well-
there's a British version and an American version.
I think that's
will-
what it was.
oh, that would
I
make sense
will
too.
say I will say this. The correct answer is The Man Who Knew Too Much. But apparently it's not really a remake. He only reused the title. I did not significantly
Oh, so we get a
look up
different
that.
question then.
It is a completely different question.
No, I believe I've seen both versions, and, like, the ending of it, I can't remember because it's been a long time since I've seen both, but like they both end the same way. So
yeah, there's
maybe it's a loose remake, but it's a remake.
That's what it is. It's not really, I guess, technically a remake, but a
I don't believe
reimagining.
Doris Day
might be a
sang
better-
"Que Sera Sera" on the original one, but
Right, exactly. So I mean, so that might have been a little bit of a misleading way to phrase it. So it's up to you guys.
Nope. The host
No,
is
we're
always
good with
right.
it. And Steven sounds like he's pretty sure.
Yeah, I just knew there was an earlier version of The Man Who Knew Too Much. I didn't.
That's a lot more than I knew. I tried to go a different route
clearly
there, and I
we did
didn't
not
get
know
there.
that.
Yeah, I started down the rabbit hole because someone mentioned Sabotage, and I was like, "Ooh, shoot! There's a Sabotage and a Saboteur. Are they the same movie?" So, and the answer is no. There's two different Hitchcock movies.
Okay, I've seen Sabotage. We're over on this recording anyway, but wasn't the Strangers on the Train, wasn't that a book as well?
It might have been. I honestly don't know.
Okay. I'm going to make Leah watch that.
Psycho was. Anyway, all right. We have arrived at the halftime question. Then you guys get to get rid of me.
Aww.
Before halftime, we will double check the scores here. At halftime, we have Chris and Leah with 35 points and Steven with 70.
Wow.
Okay, so right now, Leah, we need to make up a little bit of ground to at least have a chance in the wagers.
it's anybody's game.
It's still anybody's game.
Only one half, guys.
Your halftime question is going to be up to 10 answers.
Holy crap.
Your category is I didn't study abroad in college. I studied multiple broads. Make you
From
love that one.
afar. From afar.
Yeah, from afar. Yeah.
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
Your question is, in the 2015 and 16 academic year, over 300,000 U.S. college students studied abroad. For 2 points each, I want you to give me the top 10 destinations according to the State Department.
Countries or cities?
Countries.
Or colleges.
Countries.
Okay.
Ugh.
These are the top 10 countries that American students study abroad at, and there can be up to 10 of them, but you get 2 points for each one.
Correct.
Okay, I'm guessing one more. I'll throw one on the list here.
No rush.
Yeah, I only have
No,
7.
I have no data to go by, so I've got my 10 written down whenever you're ready.
All right, Leah. So,
Talk among yourselves.
Okay, I was going to text them to you, but now I can talk to you.
yeah, we'll talk them out, and I'll tell you if I have it on my list as well. I've got 13
Okay, England
right now.
is 100% on there somewhere.
Is it England or United Kingdom?
Oh, well, I guess we'll... Ooh, I always hate that question. Because I always consider...
Because I think the country is the United Kingdom.
Yeah, I
don't
always
know.
consider them
Mike, can we get
independent.
clarification?
I believe the country is United Kingdom, yes.
Okay, then we'll say United Kingdom.
Okay, definitely on there. I have that as well.
Because if these are American students,
Yep.
a lot of them are going to be places where you can speak English. So I'm also thinking Australia. I do know that there are a lot of people who study abroad in Australia because they speak English.
I did not have that on my
Predominantly?
list, but that makes sense. Okay.
I mean, I don't know if that would be a top tenner, but I know that's one of the reasons why a lot of students like to go there to study abroad is because they don't have to worry about learning a language.
Okay.
I also know people when I was in college who studied in Spain. So I put Spain on there.
I had
put
Spain as
China.
well.
China and Japan were my only two Asian countries.
I did not have Japan. I didn't have China, just because I think
Okay.
there's a lot that kind of goes into that.
I wasn't sure
We would avoid.
politically, too.
I did have another Asian country. I had South Korea.
Oh, okay.
Very populous. A lot of English language speaking there.
Okay.
But I had Japan as well.
And then I also had Italy and Germany because I was just trying to think of other European, because I feel like a lot of them, maybe that's just because we're on the East Coast. And it's easier for East Coast students to go to
Okay.
Europe, whereas West Coast students like from California, Washington, Oregon may go to, Asia because it's
So-
closer. location-wise.
We've
but-
got 5 there that we match up on. So we've got the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Spain. On my list, I also had France.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking France. I just didn't get to write it down yet. So I think that's a good one.
Okay. If you're talking about English language speaking, what about Canada?
I thought about that. I've just never heard of anyone doing it. But I mean, because I thought about Mexico and Canada.
I thought about Mexico as well, but I just thought of it being more of a dangerous place. I did not put it on my list.
Right.
I had Costa Rica on there, but the only reason I had Costa Rica on there is I'm pretty sure that FSU has a program in Costa Rica, and that's why it's on there.
Well, I was thinking that Costa Rica is a small country, so it probably only has like 2 universities or whatever.
I'm
Or
sure
maybe
there's more than
only
that,
just
but
the
yeah.
one.
Another country that comes up on my list is South Africa.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, I want to study abroad there. Can I go back to college?
I also have Greece.
I thought about Greece too, but I didn't know if that was just.
Okay, so we definitely have France, the United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Spain. That's 6. We need 4 more.
About the Netherlands? No, because kids like to go to Amsterdam. Because of the pop brownies and stuff.
You gonna let your kid go there though? I mean,
I don't know.
I do feel like a lot of this is going to be European centric.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Any other
Okay, so what countries are we
Poland,
missing?
Austria, Portugal, Switzerland. I don't hear none of those stand out to me as big university
I don't like any of those.
places. It's not going to be
What about Russia?
Nordic. I thought about Russia. So they would have probably like Moscow, St. Petersburg.
Okay, so we have France, the United Kingdom, Italy, Japan, Germany, Spain. Do you want to do Russia?
Over what? Like,
Well, we need 10. That would give us 7.
oh, that's all we have?
We have France, United Kingdom, Germany is 3, Italy, Japan, and Spain is 4, 5, and 6.
You don't want to do my Australia?
I do want to do Australia as well. I want to do South Korea.
Yeah.
That's 9. We need 1 more. So the only ones we have left on here are Canada, Costa Rica, South Africa, and Greece. Unless there's another country we can think of.
I was going to say, I kind of like Canada the best out of those options.
All right, you want to do Canada as well?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have thunder behind any of it, so.
All right, we've got our 10.
All right. So again, what were y'all's 10?
We have France.
Okay.
France, the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Italy, South Korea, Japan, Australia, Spain, and Russia.
All righty. Sounds good. Steven, what did you have?
All right. My list was United Kingdom,
Okay.
France,
Okay.
Spain,
Okay.
Japan,
Okay.
Mexico,
Okay.
Canada,
Okay.
Germany,
Okay.
Italy,
Okay.
the Republic of Ireland,
Okay.
and Australia.
All righty. The correct answers are, and this is in order from most to least in the top 10, the United Kingdom, Italy, Spain, France, Germany, China.
Ah,
Good pull
Yeah.
on the Republic of Ireland, Stephen. I thought that was the trickiest one.
Damn it.
Australia, Costa Rica, and Japan.
Oh,
So by my tally, I got Chris and Leah getting 7 and Stephen getting 8. Does that sparkle with everybody?
sparkle and sunshine.
Yeah.
We didn't mention Ireland, but we mentioned the other 2. We just discredited them. Bummer.
No problem.
I figured Costa Rica was going to be on there, but I didn't have.
Yeah, I talked
had
it out
no
of it.
thunder.
That's my fault.
Well, no, I had no thunder behind it. The only reason I knew that is because I wanted to do that when I was in college. I didn't get a chance to.
my sister studied abroad in Costa Rica, which is the only reason that I wasn't surprised at that one. But otherwise, I'd have been like, really, Costa Rica? It's actually weird. Like, it didn't occur to me. Like, yeah, Mexico and Canada are not on this list.
Yeah, the only reason I guessed them because I figured it'd be easy to travel to for the kids. But
Yeah, me
Right?
too.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, after 2 rounds and a halftime, our current scores are Chris and Leah have 49 and Steven has 86. And now I'm going to hand things over to my beautiful wife, Nikki, who has been waiting ever so patiently. And she's going to take us home.
Okay. So,
And I'm going to drink.
Hold on. Does that mean we're now beholden to Mike and his math abilities?
You were
unfortunately-
beholden to me, to Nikki and her math ability.
Yeah, so
I
I mean,
trust
you're probably,
Nikki more.
You're probably better off.
Nikki can't drink right now. I trust Nikki more.
Touche.
Touche. All right, so round 3, question 1, and your category is classic film. What future beloved television star had an early film role opposite the Marx Brothers in the movie Room Service?
I know I've seen Room Service.
Yeah, a while ago. Holy crap.
I know I like to order room service when I'm at a hotel.
Classic film being the category, so this would be from a long time ago.
Yes.
Leah, I've got to.
Please lock in. I don't. There were a lot of words in that question that I didn't understand. So
You guys need to hear the question
You
again?
want me to repeat it?
Yeah, I want to make sure I lock in with a decent answer.
Okay. What future beloved television star had an early film role opposite the Marx Brothers in the movie Room Service?
Actually, I've got it narrowed down to. Let's see.
I can take a wild guess. I'll lock in with something.
Okay, so Steven's locked in.
Okay. So, judging by. What was the category again, Nikki?
Classic film.
Classic film. Marx Brothers film is old. So
Yes,
I'm also
the Marx
kind of.
Brothers film would be old.
Yes, thank you, Steven.
well, so let's think of beloved TV stars.
And so I've got 3 on my list.
Was there a TV show called Beloved or Beloved?
No, I've got 3 on my list, and that might just give me 4 now that I think about it. So the 3 on my list, now 4 that are on my list, they come down to be Barbara Eden from My Dream of Jeannie, Lucille Ball from I Love Lucy and the Lucy Show,
Who's in Bewitched?
Elizabeth Montgomery.
Oh.
But you don't think about her as much as you think about Barbara Eden. At least I don't. But I also came down with Dick Van Dyke from.
Yeah, that sounds more like a personal thing there, Chris.
Barbara Eden a lot there, huh, Chris?
That could very well be personal, yes.
Spend a lot of time thinking about a woman that has to do whatever you say and call you master. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that explains a lot. Okay.
I hate all of you. Okay, so I come.
Dick York?
So it could be Elizabeth Montgomery, but like when it comes down to like Barbara Eden has a place in pop culture, I think more so than Elizabeth Montgomery does. But that could just be the fact that she's still
alive. Who do you think
alive.
is most beloved?
The ones that come to mind are going to be Barbara Eden, Dick Van Dyke, Lucille Ball, Mary Tyler Moore. I'm eliminating Dick Van Dyke because of Mary Poppins.
Oh, so he was known for film.
He's done both. I don't remember Lucille Ball doing a lot of film.
I only know her as Lucy.
Yeah. And then I don't know about Mary Tyler Moore, but Mary Tyler Moore had more than one show. I guess Lucille Ball had more than one show. Barbara Eden had just the one, I think. If I'm going back and putting it, so let's take it from another way. Mary Tyler Moore show was in color.
Okay.
Not wrong.
I don't know what that has anything to do with
Time frames here. So Mary Tyler
Well,
Moore
I'm
was
assuming
Mary
these
Tyler Moore
March
was in the
people
Dick
were
Van
from
Dyke.
20s or 30s.
Mary Tyler Moore was in the Dick Van Dyke show. Mary Tyler Moore was relatively young when she played Laura Petrie, I believe was her name in that show.
Lori.
Laura, is it Lori Petrie? Petrie?
Why am I helping you? I'm shutting up.
Okay. I don't think it's Mary Tyler Moore now that I think about it, because I think she was in like her 30s when she did the Mary Tyler Moore show, and I think that ages her out of possibly the Marx Brothers movie. So now I go to Dick Van Dyke. It's Barbara Eden or it's Lucille Ball, and Barbara Eden, the majority of that show is in color, so I think that might age her out as well. So I'm guessing Lucille Ball.
Okay, I know she's beloved.
She is very beloved. So yeah, I'm going Lucille Ball.
Okay, let's go Lucy.
My logic could be way off. Why are we listening to me?
Because I know nothing. So Lucy, let's go Lucy.
Lucille Ball.
Okay, so you guys locked in with Lucille Ball. Steven, what's your answer?
Well, listening to them, I actually think they're correct now, but I locked in with Dick Van Dyke.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about Dick Van Dyke, but I don't.
Well,
Mary
he
Poppins
played
is
a
throwing
kid
me off.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is also
yeah.
beloved.
Okay, well, you are correct. The most beloved is Lucille Ball. I love.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, love, beloved.
I love
Okay.
Lucy.
I
Oh,
love
wow.
Lucy.
We didn't even get the hint.
I know. I kept saying
I did
beloved
not-
over and
I
over
kept saying
and over.
beloved,
and
so I
didn't get
thought
it.
but I love Lucy, beloved. But yeah, but Dick Van Dyke is a good guess.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke's a really good guess.
Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore would have also been a very good guess. So
But you're saying Elizabeth Montgomery and Barbara Eden, not so much.
No.
Those were poor guesses, and you should feel bad.
they were just a little later as far
I'm
as
just kidding.
TV.
That's
shows.
why I eliminated them.
No, the era was about
I
right.
guess
honestly.
honestly, it's about because actually both of those shows started off black and white and then ended in color, right? Because didn't I Love Jeannie start off in black and white too?
I Dream of Jeannie, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know,
Yeah,
It did.
I know Bewitched started off black and white, but Elizabeth Montgomery and Barbara Eden really didn't do anything else.
Right.
But Lucille Ball and Mary Tyler Moore both did a lot of
A lot of
films.
stuff.
I don't remember Lucille Ball doing a lot of movies, but that just could be me not knowing her.
I mean,
Filmography.
I don't think she didn't do a lot after I Love Lucy, but she did a lot before I Love Lucy.
I don't know. She did some after. She was in
Did
that.
she?
Oh gosh, I don't know. She's been in a lot, but it's
He was
you
a
know. it's
name
a
in the long trailer, and there were a couple of them.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, there was that yours, mine, and ours that she did. That,
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot she was in those.
They did the remake.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hey,
question
guys,
2.
This
The
bottle of
category-
wine's almost gone.
What was that?
He said this bottle of wine's almost
Oh.
gone. I think he's telling us to speed it up.
Okay. Question 2.
No, I might need
Famous
a wine
last
break.
words. All right. Whose last words were, "Pardon me, sir. I did not mean to do it."
Locked in.
Okay.
That was quick. Pardon me, sir. I did not.
I
mean
just
to
wrote this
do it.
question.
Did you really?
Yeah. I'm going
Alright.
to text it to Mike right now.
I've heard this before somewhere.
That's pretty funny. Should I have heard it on a previous podcast?
I've heard this somewhere before.
Oh.
No, I've heard this before. I see. I remember the story, but not the person, because they like step on their executioner's foot or something. I think you've locked in, right?
I'm locked in.
I'm going to say it's Marie Antoinette.
You suck.
Yes.
Chris, what was your answer?
It was Marie Antoinette after stepping on her executioner's foot.
Yep.
So
That's
not only
correct.
did I not make up any ground that game, now I have to go back and redo a question I have for our next game.
Sorry,
You
Chris.
can say-
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you're both wrong. It was her last words were actually "Pardonnez-moi, monsieur." No, just kidding.
That is. All right. Question 3 is music and history is the category. All right. The release of the second Beatles album in England was largely ignored in America. This may be because it occurred on November 22nd, 1963, the same day as what historic event?
Locked in.
All right.
Oh, that's another quick spec. 22nd, 1953.
63.
63. Oh, okay. That could change things then. 63. That was JFK. Yeah, JFK. JFK assassination, I should say.
All right, so Stephen, you're going with Kennedy assassination. Leo, what was your guess?
Yeah, it was the Kennedy assassination.
Yep.
That is correct.
Fucking Stephen King making that date more well known.
That's the only reason I knew it is because I read that book. That's why I always know that that's the date now.
As soon when you locked in, I went, she knows it because of Stephen King.
Yep.
Yep,
She
I read
does.
the book.
But she did not watch the miniseries because it stars James Franco.
No,
I
I've tried
started watching
multiple
the miniseries.
times.
I started watching the miniseries and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I've tried multiple times and I could not get into it. But I really like the book.
I liked the book, but yeah, the miniseries didn't like. Okay, question 4. Category is One Giant Leap for Mankind.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so of the 3 Apollo 11 astronauts, who was the one who did not walk on the moon?
Locked
who did
in.
not walk on the moon? And
Locked in.
no, he was not the subject of a 90s biopic starring Liam Neeson.
It's okay. It's fine. I wasn't sure how common that was, so I gave
All
him
right,
a second way to get there.
Chris and Lee are locked in. Steven, what are your thoughts?
Okay, so the ones that did were Neil and Buzz, and it's the one without the cool name that's there. Crap. I want to say like it's Michael something. I can't remember the last name.
Are you locking in with Michael something?
I think I'm going to have to. I cannot. I'm drawing a blank.
Fair.
All right, Chris and Leah, what was your answer?
Take it, babe.
Michael Collins.
Ah!
Michael Collins. Yes, the correct answer is Michael Collins.
I wanted to say it first just in case Chris had the wrong answer. I didn't want to say it out loud.
No, it was early space history. That was all you, babe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forget that. Yeah, that would have been very much. So somewhere I have no idea where I actually have his autograph. My
What?
dad
Oh,
dad
yeah.
met him in some context or other and got him.
Yeah, I
signed.
forgot we've had this conversation before.
I don't know what it is. I'm sure I have it.
All right, round 4. So we're in the last
What in the holy hell are
round
they
before
doing in the new
our
Doolittle movie?
final question. Our final.
We're
Okay,
not talking about the new.
Oh wait,
Doolittle
we
movie.
want a score check before round 4, right?
here's score check.
Yep. We've
Right.
swapped phones, so it's a different password to open it. All right. After 3 rounds of trivia, I have Chris and Leah at 89 and Steven at 106. So it looks like they're closing the gap.
Yes.
All right, so round 4, question 1. Your category is Star Wars.
Oh.
You may know that C-3PO and R2-D2 are the only characters to appear in all 9 of the episodic Star Wars movies. But can you tell me what character has the most screen time?
This is one we're going to have to talk out.
I can lock this one in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can lock this one in. Oh, I say that. I say that.
It's okay. Until you give us a definitive thumbs up, you're still good.
Oh, good.
I keep typing my password on your
No, I
phone.
did the same thing.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to lock into it because I still think that works. Yeah, I'll lock into it.
Okay. So Steven's locking. Chris and Leah, talk it out.
Chris, what are you thinking?
Anakin features heavily in 2, 3, and then a little bit in 5, and then 6 and 7,
And a little bit in 1.
a little bit in 1. Chewie is in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
But his screen time is so small. And he doesn't really have lines besides
Yeah.
growling. or whatever it is that he does.
I mean, they wasted their best character because Qui-Gon should have been in all 9 movies.
Well, yeah, and if we're thinking Obi-Wan, it's only the first 4.
First 4, yeah.
But there weren't as many. I don't feel like there were as many characters. Well, I guess there. So let's say there's like 4 or 5 main characters in every movie. You got to think which ones are the top 4 or 5 build in each movie, and then kind of break it down from there.
I don't know. That's how you. I don't know. Hold on. Let's see.
This is going to be like a 20-minute discussion. That's really going to bother us.
So it's not going to be. We agree. It's not going to be any of the new ones. It's not going to be Poe, Finn, Rey, or Ben.
Ben, or even I don't even think it's Leia.
I don't think it's Leia. I don't think it's Han.
Oh, there.
Because at least Luke had more of a screen time in Last Jedi.
Luke was the main focus of 4, 5, and 6. But then I go back and say Anakin was the focus of 3 and 4. He was in 1, and then he was in 4, 5, and 6.
So do you want to say Anakin? We could say Anakin. I'm good with Anakin. / Darth.
No, Palpatine was in 9 a whole hell of a lot. Oh, shit. Palpatine's in 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9.
But I don't feel like he had a lot of screen time.
I don't think he did either. I think Anakin would have had more.
Yeah, I definitely think.
If it was who appeared in the most movies, it might be the Emperor. But I feel like Anakin... Hold on, because Darth technically also had screen time in Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
But Solo had an entire Solo movie.
Oh, that's true.
With Chewie. Chewie was in the Solo movie, too.
I would like to emphasize.
Don't reread that question. Do not reread it.
I'd like to reread the question now.
All right. Remember, the question was, you may know that C-3PO and R2-D2 are the only characters to appear in all 9 of the episodic Star Wars movies. But can you tell me what character has the most screen time? So, thinking about the 9 episodic...
Oh, you're only talking saga films.
Yeah, so we're
okay,
not
that wasn't evident to
or,
me.
We're not going crazy.
We're not roguing or soloing or cartooning.
Okay, I'm saying Anakin.
Yeah, I'm good with Anakin. Let's do Anakin.
Yeah, we'll go Anakin / Darth Vader.
Okay. So Chris and Leah are locking in with Anakin. Steven?
I believe from a certain point of view, Anakin Skywalker has the most screen time.
All right, that is correct. The correct answer is Anakin Skywalker.
Good job, everyone.
We overthought that.
I'm not sure how much it varies based on exactly when in Episode 3 you consider it stopping being Anakin and becoming Darth Vader, but...
Well,
if
then
you
also
split them in 2, I would guess Obi-Wan would probably be the actual most screen time.
It's close, yeah. I was looking to try and find the I'm basing this off a Reddit thread, so...
Oh.
Yeah, take it as you will. But you guys both got it right, so hey.
Good job. All right, question 2. The category is an opera question that you may actually get. Okay.
There's so much faith.
All right, what Elton John musical is based on an opera by Verdi? Do not confuse it for a similarly named Sarah McLachlan song.
I can lock in.
Okay.
I know like 2 Sarah McLachlan songs.
Damn it, I knew I should have added that.
Don't listen to the Sarah McLachlan song.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yes. What Elton John musical is based on an opera by Verdi? Do not confuse it for similarly named Sarah McLachlan songs.
Nikki's mad at me because she wrote this question and I added the Sarah McLachlan part.
Oh, so I shouldn't focus on that part. Okay.
I don't even know what he's talking about, so just...
I'll explain.
Yes. It's an Elton John musical based on the opera by Verdi.
Okay. So Elton John musicals, think Billy Elliot was Elton John.
I didn't know Elton John did musicals.
There's another one where I think it's like all letter. It's like obviously all letters, but it's like all vowels, like AEIOU or something like that.
Okay.
You might be thinking of the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland.
I don't think that's correct. What Sarah McLachlan songs do you know?
Angel, I Will Remember You, Full of Grace, Adia.
Adia.
Adia. That's a musical or something similar to a musical.
That is a musical. I don't know if Elton John did. Is AIDA? AIDIA? Something like that?
I think AIDA is the musical, but Adia, I don't know. I remember. Yeah.
That sounds.
But they want the musical, right? So I'm saying not the Sarah McLachlan. I would say, however you would pronounce AIDA. I think that's the musical.
AID. Okay, yeah. That's.
Does that look right? When you write it out.
Oh, I should write it out then. Hold on.
You
know what? It reminds me of onions. Like
yeah,
the
I'm
onion rings.
Sarah McLachlan's voice in my head.
Over Ida is what it looks like to me. Now I want tater tots. Yeah, I'm good with that.
I want tater tots too. Okay.
AIDA?
So, Ada? No, how would you pronounce that?
Ida?
No.
How would Elton John pronounce it? Who's got a good English accent?
Oh, I can't.
Yeah,
I think
AIDA. That's fine. Yeah. You sure it's a Sarah McLachlan song?
I think.
For the record, Mike added the Sarah McLachlan. I guess it is.
I'm in the doghouse right now.
I feel like
you guys, you butchered my favorite musical.
I'm so sorry.
I feel like
okay.
80,
I think.
80,
hold on.
The song
With how they're laughing, we're on the right track.
Okay.
Right.
Like
they're
I
not reacting this way unless we're on
word.
Steven, that's not fair to you, and I'm sorry.
I locked in because I know it. So you guys just go ahead and dance
I know,
around.
but I think they're guessing.
Whatever you want to lock it. You guys are on the right track. Whatever you guys want to lock in with.
Yeah.
AIDA
is
the song. I
okay,
just don't know
that's
if that's
fine.
also how you pronounce
well, they're not
musical.
asking us to spell; they're just asking us to say it. So say it again.
Adia? I don't know.
Is it Adia or you're saying AIDA, which I think is like Ada?
I know, because that's how I'm picturing it being spelled, but I don't know. Whatever.
Alright. So you guys are locking in with.
You can spell your answer if you're concerned about.
Yeah, pronunciation I don't think is working for us. I think we're just gonna go. She had said AIDA 4 times, so that's what I wrote down.
That's what I'm picturing in my head. But
okay.
All right, and
I read that as Ada, but
it's pronounced Aida. You uncultured swine.
Thank you, Steven.
Aida. Oh gosh.
Hey, Steven.
Okay.
Steven.
Yes.
I will remember you.
Now all I can see is sad puppies. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, the answer is Aida, based on the 2000 musical by Elton John, which was from the opera by Verdi. You need to listen to the soundtrack. It's the best musical. It's my favorite. I have everything about Aida. It's my all-time favorite musical.
I'm only listening to the original opera, and that's it.
Stupid Sarah McLachlan reference. I literally just put that in for myself. I didn't even think anybody would remember Aida.
No, so Mike,
it's just
to be
what
fair,
I always think of when I see Aida.
But it
Leah
is
likes Sarah McLachlan
as well.
But
I mean,
also,
it's the same name as the opera, and the opera is actually very famous.
Yeah.
You know?
I would rather wear a barrel than conservative apparel.
Apparel? Exactly. See, Steve knows what I'm talking about.
My dress has always been my finest suit.
Just give him the
I
points.
was
He
told
clearly
there would
knows
be
the
no
answers.
singing.
is there an Elton John song,
Well, you're in luck. That
musical
was not
or
singing.
song that's just
Listen,
vowels?
Elton John. I still think they need to make like a movie version of this. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
It's actually a Disney musical. It is actually it's Elton John. It's actually Disney's Aida, but Elton John did the music.
And I believe Adam Pascal originated the role.
Adam Pascal originated the role.
Oh, that's where the connection is. Okay.
And there it is. Yep.
There it is. I saw him. I actually saw it on stage when I was 16 in the original cast. I went to New York for my 16th birthday and saw it. And I remember I was so nervous that I was going to be the understudy, like it was when we went to Something Rotten.
Yeah, when we went to see Something Rotten and it was the understudy instead of Adam Pascal. Yeah.
Is this pre or post Rent?
Oh,
This is post-Rent. This would be post-Rent. This came out in 2000.
I was going to say Rent was 96, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did this like after The Lion King on Broadway did super well. They paid Elton John to write him another one. So
yeah, and then it didn't do exactly. It wasn't super popular. I don't know why. It was really good. But all right, moving on. Aida. Both will get it. I'll count AIDA.
I was going to say, you do not have to give it to us, because Stephen clearly knew it. We just spelled letters.
Well, if you were spelling it.
I gave it to you, so.
All right. Question 3. Women in U.S. history. All right, Jeanette
False.
Rankin. Oh, what was that?
What'd you say?
False.
False.
Wah, wah. All right, Jeanette Rankin holds at least 2 distinctions. Wow, can't talk. She was the first woman elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, and she was the only congressperson to vote against declaring war on Japan after Pearl Harbor. But what state does she represent?
It's a Mike Mott question.
Guilty.
I have no in or out here, Leah, so pick a freaking state that's not,
You don't want me to pick a state.
It's one of 48, right?
I don't know why you're discounting the other 2. Oh, because they weren't states at the time?
I love you. You're pretty.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Did either of you lock in?
No, not yet.
No.
I've got it narrowed down to 47. I have randomly eliminated Illinois.
I'll lock in since I'm in the lead. Let's go ahead. I'll lock in.
All right, Steven's locking in.
Hey, Leah,
Yeah.
where does our bestie live?
Our bestie?
Mm-hmm.
Nevada?
Let's go with Nevada.
Okay, it's fine. We can go. Do you only want to say that because her name is Janet, and there's also a Janet Reno, and there's a Reno in Nevada?
No, I literally just thought I texted with Sarah yesterday, and she lives in Nevada, and I don't have another way to get there.
Crimes in the 60s.
Also, yes, it is.
Chris,
Also, it's
I'm
Mike.
a moron and you're dead on. It was Arizona with 1912.
Okay, so we're both wrong. My also thought is it's Mike Mott writing the question. Maybe he talked to Sarah, and that's what made him think about something major that happened in Nevada.
But Nikki wrote this one. And Nikki's from all over.
Okay, Nikki, where were you born?
No, I think
We didn't divide the questions based on who wrote them.
Yeah, we each wrote some questions on this thing, and it's all kind of scattered.
Yeah, this does not sound. All due respect, Nikki, I love you. This does not sound like a Nikki question.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I wouldn't write this.
The last one was a Nikki question. So
Until I screwed it up with the hint.
Listen, it's a 1 in 48 shot. I'm going Nevada. I don't care. We're
Okay,
not
let's
going to
go
get this
Nevada.
right.
All right. So, Chris and Leah, your final answer is Nevada.
Yes.
Sure.
All right. Steven, what you lock in with?
I guess Colorado. I had no reason. I just picked.
All right. Well, you guys are kind of busy.
If we had added no, her name was not Helena, would that
Montana.
have
Damn it.
Montana?
Yeah.
Montana is the correct
We're all going to hell in a handbasket. Let's go.
one.
Oh, I should have added that. Oh, that would have been good too.
All right. Question 4. So this is the final question before the
Final question before the final.
Before the final.
Oh, Lord.
All right, and your category is Disney. Okay, so the question is, Sleeping Beauty was released in 1959 and was a relative box office bomb for Disney. As a result, what was the next Disney animated film that centered around a princess?
What was the year again?
1959 is when Sleeping Beauty was released.
And it was a bomb?
It was a bomb.
I think I know what I want to say. But we can talk it out.
I like to talk it out.
I've got it narrowed down to 2 in my head. I'm trying to flip around here.
No worries.
Yeah, I've got 2, but I don't think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can
something.
lock it in. I can lock it in. That's what it's got to be.
I'm missing something. So
Okay, Steven's locking in. All right, Chris and Leah.
So princess movies, 59, and then I try and think of the princess movies after that, and I don't get to anything until I get to the late 80s, early 90s.
That's what I'm saying. He's locked in. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Steven is locked in, yes.
Okay. So my thought is that Snow White was number 1, Cinderella was number 2, Sleeping Beauty was probably number 3. And I can't think of anything that happened between then and I know Ariel was, I think, 89 or 90.
Yeah, that's late 80s.
And Ariel was definitely before Belle and
that's the 2 I had, Ariel and Belle.
Ones. And Jasmine and
no, Aladdin was like 93, 94.
And the way she
Belle was 92.
The way she worded the question too was like, because it was a bomb, it makes sense that they would have waited like 40 years or whatever to release another princess movie.
That does that feel right though? Did they wait that long?
I cannot think of any other because there's not that many official Disney princesses. Like there's like a list.
Let's go through them. We know the list, right? We know some of the list. Let's go through them.
We know most of the list. Of course, you want to talk it through. Okay. So I think Snow White was the first one.
Snow White, Cinderella, they're all not.
And then Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sure if Sleeping Beauty or Cinderella came first or second.
Was there not a Rapunzel movie until Tangled?
Yeah, no. Rapunzel's like one of the newer ones. Tiana from the Frog one.
No, that's 90s.
A newer one.
Mulan is newer. Pocahontas is new-ish.
Yeah, yeah, and
yeah, I can't think of anything between. So I think you're right. I think not Aladdin. I think Little
Ariel.
Mermaid is before Beauty and the Beast.
Because Ariel was the first Disney princess of my generation, like of the new movies coming out.
Really? Let's do that then. I don't remember anything from the 60s or 70s.
Right, that would be my only concern is that I know of the modern era. I'm 100% Ariel was the first of the modern era.
Let's do it.
I just don't know if there was anything else from like the 60s or 70s, but I can't think of any.
Are you asking for the movie or the princess?
Just we're looking for the film.
Yeah.
Oh, the Little Mermaid then.
All right,
I'm locking in with Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Okay, Steven, what'd you lock in with?
Little Mermaid.
Yes, the correct answer is The Little Mermaid.
They went that long.
Well, it was such
30 years.
It was such a bomb. They didn't make any princess movies, so.
I do want to say I think it's a travesty that Maid Marian is not considered a Disney princess because she's such a fox.
Boom, boom.
Are you happy with yourself? Look what you did.
I actually am.
You broke the podcast.
Disturbing. It is disturbing how happy I am with myself on that one.
Okay, so
do you know why Sleeping Beauty was such a flop economically?
No.
Because it was a boring movie?
Well, besides that.
No, actually, I have no clue. Enlighten us.
It's because they tried to like make it so that every single frame in Sleeping Beauty would be like a picture in a storybook. So like the sheets of paper they drew on were almost like bed sheet size. So it was one of those like it was actually a high grossing movie, but the production cost was so high because it took them 6 years to make it or something that there was no way it could recoup its money.
I got
That
you.
makes sense.
That's actually really interesting. No, I didn't think about that.
Well, you should listen to DVD commentaries.
I should. Well, do they have those on Disney Plus? Because one of these days I'm just going to put on Cinderella for Abby, but I'm going to change it to the DVD commentary.
Disney Plus actually does have an extras option when you pick the movies. So
I totally want to do that and see how long it takes for her to notice.
We've now seen Cinderella like more times than
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All righty, guys. Going into the final round, we definitely have a game here. Chris and Leah are at 119, and Steven is at 136, according to my math.
Cool.
well, that's not good.
So, as you guys know, the way the final question works, you can wager any or all or none of your points. We'll give you the final question category, and then you guys can
Wager based on the category.
wager based on the category. I guess we can just go on the honor system unless you want to.
And you can text or whatever.
Yeah, text or whatever. I don't know if Steven has my number, but you can message it in chat or whatever.
Okay.
Skype.
Yeah.
Chris, I'll let you decide how much we want to wager.
Well, Leah, let me just send you this.
Okay.
But anyway,
I have to find my phone.
Right.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Here's the category. The category is the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Criticism of the MCU.
Oh, criticism of the MCU. I'm sorry. Criticism of the MCU.
Okay, you should have mine.
Oh, come on. I felt like my response was cute.
Okay.
Whatever.
We're good. Yes, it was cute.
Thank you.
Your love for me is validated. And I now have a like dark purple tongue.
Are those things related to each other?
No. But I will give a shout out to Josh Sellers Vineyard in California somewhere. Their family reserve, Josh Cabernet Sauvignon, is gone, and it was delightful.
Okay. All right, guys.
All the wagers are in.
All the wages are in. Here is your final question, and the category is criticism of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Hashtag release a Snyder Cut.
Hashtag Snyder Cut doesn't actually exist.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
So
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
put the following Marvel movies in order based on their critic score on Rotten Tomatoes from lowest to highest. All right? So here are the movies. Iron Man, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel. So put those in order from lowest to
5?
highest based on their Rotten Tomatoes critic score.
Wow.
Lowest to highest?
Lowest to highest. If you guys prefer highest to lowest, it doesn't really matter. Just put them in order. Just tell us which way you're doing it.
Can I tell you which order I want to put them in? I don't want to use critic data. I want to go off like grosses or year they were released. I'll take my chances with
They were
wagers.
released.
Those were listed in release order, so
Oh.
that doesn't really give us much.
Well, it didn't until you said it just then.
All right, I'll go ahead and send you this like I did my points, lowest to highest.
All right, Steven, you're locked in?
I am.
Okay. So, Leah, this is what I know. Captain Marvel is going to be the lowest.
Yeah, that's what I texted you too.
I remember it coming out, and I remember that they shut down, like the Rotten Tomatoes had to shut down their scores because the people scores was bringing the score down, but the critic score, even though with all that happening, the critic score is one of the lower of the MCU. I mean, it wasn't Thor: The Dark World low, but it was still low. Ant-Man comes to mind. The reason I'm saying Ant-Man's next is not because it was a bad movie. I love that movie, and I think the critics really liked it as well. But like the cream of the crop is clearly going to be Iron Man 1, Winter Soldier, and Black Panther, and then the following two are lower. And I think Ant-Man's better than Captain Marvel.
Right.
Captain Marvel, from a storyline standpoint, is all over the place. To me, it's the movie's fine. It's a decent movie, but it's kind of all over the place from a story standpoint. Ant-Man at least is a little more self-contained and not reliant on other stories to tell its story, if that makes sense.
Right.
So then it comes down to Black Panther, Iron Man, and Winter Soldier, right? Black Panther, I think, has got to be the highest. Despite the fact that I think Winter Soldier is the best of the MCU movies. The Winter Soldier is the best MCU movie. It's Winter Soldier or Guardians of the Galaxy. Come at me, I don't care. It's those two.
No, as long as you split it between those two, I'm fine.
Those two are the best MCU movies there are.
Yeah.
But Black Panther, no one said a bad word about. Black Panther is a
And
good
Black
movie.
Well,
Panther
some
got the
people said a bad word about it.
Okay.
Like Black Panther had the critics. That's what I'm thinking because it's the only one that was nominated for like
It
real
was nominated for
awards,
Best Picture, for God's sake.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Critic wise, it's none of the rest of them were nominated.
I think Black Panther is the cream of the crop. So then, if we're going,
Right.
Black Panther is the highest, and then we're going to go Ant-Man, Captain Marvel is the lowest. I mean, damn, how do you shake out Iron Man and freaking
Right,
Winter
'cause-
Soldier?
because Iron Man was the first of the big ones of the MCU. So and people loved it, and it's the first one that got me. Like I'd seen comic book movies before then, but Iron Man 1 was the one that really got me into it. And I was like, whoa, this is a whole new level of fandom I've never experienced before. So if other people
You
were
say
like
that.
me,
Hold on, but you say that.
because you know me, I wasn't a fan of the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, but
The
Iron Man
Tobey
came
Maguire
out,
ones.
what?
2008.
2008. It was 2008. What else came out in 2008? You said you've never seen fandom like this. What else came out in 2008? Widely regarded to be one of the top
Twilight?
3 comic book movies of all time.
I don't know.
Friggin' Dark Knight.
Oh well, yeah, but
So,
Dark Knight, like those movies were fine. I did not emotionally
Whoa,
attach
whoa,
to Dark
whoa,
Knight.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah, I know. I emotionally attached to Iron Man and MCU. I did not emotionally attach to DC and the Dark Knight movies.
So are you saying
Those opinions are going to be half your child's opinions, Chris.
I don't care what religion my kid grows up following. My kid will be a DC Comics fan.
Okay, well, we'll see.
His history may forget it, but everyone was anticipating The Dark Knight in the summer of 2008, not Iron Man.
No, but Iron Man had staying power. Iron Man did very well. But this
But when I
is
left both of those movies, Iron
we're
Man's
not-
the
we
one
don't-
that stayed with me.
Yeah, Iron Man. So let's go back. Let's reset. We both agree. We both
What
agree
you
that
need
Black
to do is
Panther is
make an
number 1.
anagram of all the titles.
Exactly.
Work from it backwards.
Okay, so Ant-Man, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, the Winter Soldier. Is that what we're saying? Or does it go Captain America, the Winter Soldier? In which case, it goes Ant-Man, Black Panther, Captain America, Captain Marvel, and then Iron Man.
What are
No.
you saying?
I'm
I
following
like the order
Steven's
that you
logic.
texted me.
Oh god.
I agreed with the 5 that you did. The 2, because I think
I didn't
Captain
text you in
Marvel
order. I
is the
texted you
least.
what I. So here's my thought. Here's how I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
I think I've got 3 pretty much in place. I think Black Panther is the highest.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
I think Captain Marvel's the lowest, and I think Ant-Man's right above that. And
I agree. It's just between
it's the placement of Iron
1
Man and Winter Soldier that's bothering me, because to me, Winter Soldier is by far a
better
better
movie.
movie. It is by far a better movie than Iron Man. But Iron Man set the pace for everything. It was coming at a time when it was drastically different than anything DC was putting out.
Right.
Drastically different than what the X-Men movies were doing.
And Winter Soldier gets compared to all the others because it kind of falls in the middle.
Well, Winter Soldier to me is the kickoff of, not to me, to everyone, is the kickoff of
Phase 2.
the Russo brothers, which is the entire last phase of Marvel. So that's when they first come in. So
So what do you think? Should it be Iron Man and then Winter Soldier, or do you think it's Winter Soldier and then Iron Man if you're
I
going
don't
from
know.
highest to lowest?
I don't know.
I say we keep the order that you texted me because
I don't know what order I texted you.
well, look back at your text messages. That's an easy fix.
We can talk this
And
out.
s-
Steven is locked in.
I know. What I'm saying is that it's
Are you
like,
trying to tell me you haven't been talking it out thus far?
it's like 2 a.m, babe. In
All
my
right.
mind.
Okay,
I
so
like
we're
the
going
order
to
you
go
texted
with...
me unless you want to swap the 2, but I like the order you texted me in.
I don't... so the order that I texted her in said Iron Man was higher than Winter Soldier, and that's bothering me to no end.
But that's bothering you. Is it bothering critics? Well, it could be bothering critics now, but do you think when Iron Man 1 came out and they gave that legit rating?
But the thing is, I think we're arguing about like 2 percentage points, right? Like I think we're talking about the
Yeah,
difference
they're
between
probably
87
close.
and 89%. And like I hold Black Panther on like the 93-94% range, and I put these to like 87 to 89, and I don't know which one's going to be higher. Iron Man's a more dynamic character, but Captain and Bucky, it's Captain and Bucky.
To the end of the line. Either way,
if we lose, we lose as a team, right?
You're going to beat yourself up so much over this.
I have been wrong so many times before where I was convinced I was right that I'm going to convince myself I'm wrong. I'm going to flip it. We're going to go with Leo. We're going to say it's, oh God, Black Panther, then Iron Man, then Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Captain Marvel.
And that was highest to lowest, right?
Yes. Do you want it the other way?
Lowest.
Okay.
No, I think Captain Marvel is better than Black Panther. That was sarcasm.
Right.
Okay, and then we also have Steven's answers. So he's locked in.
Steven, can you tell us what your answer was?
My answer, highest to lowest, would be Black Panther, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Ant-Man, Captain Marvel.
Ooh,
so
drama.
he said the same thing as us.
So they both said the same thing.
They both said the same thing. Okay.
Only it took him like a third of the time to come up with it than we did.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. So with 78% critic rating, the lowest is Captain Marvel.
And that's still pretty high.
Yeah.
That's higher than what I thought people were going to do.
Yeah, with an 83% rating,
That's got to be
you
Ant-Man.
have Ant-Man.
Yep.
Wow.
And then,
People forget Ant-Man's a good movie.
yeah.
I know it didn't gross a lot of money. Ant-Man's a good movie. And what Peyton Reed did in that movie is amazing. Sorry, Nikki. I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up now.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just, Chris, you always listen to your wife. Because the next one is Captain America, the Winter Soldier at 90%.
Yeah, it is. Whoa,
Blew
that's
my fucking mind, I'll tell you that.
high.
Then we have Iron Man at
Wow.
94%.
Whoa.
And Black Panther at 97%.
That's so high.
So both of these
97%?
are-
All three of those are way
97%
higher.
for a movie where the main character doesn't have a story arc.
Yeah, it's, he's not wrong. He had his story arc in Civil
He's not
War.
wrong.
He has the same opinion before the bad thing happens that he does after the bad thing happens. He doesn't change.
Well, no, he does he opened a building in Oakland.
He was planning, but he was planning on having relations with the outside world before Killmonger shows up. Just change that one line of dialogue and you have a more dynamic character. It's infuriating.
T'Chaka. T'Challa, excuse me.
T'Challa. T'Chaka was the
Sorry.
father. T'Chaka went kaboom.
Yep. You're correct.
All right.
But so yeah.
What are the final standings?
Everybody got everything, got those right. What made that question so interesting to me is I would have put Black Panther aside. Two things. Number one, I would put Black Panther a solid number 3 behind Winter Soldier and Iron Man. And number two, who the hell doesn't rate Winter Soldier ahead of Iron Man? I mean, Iron Man's a wonderful movie, but Winter Soldier, come on. Anyway. So
I would have picked Iron Man.
Again, 2008 people were
you're
Iron Man
exactly right. You're
I
They
think
did not
by
have
the
all these
time
other
Winter
movies to compare it.
Yeah, and by the time Winter Soldier comes out, I think people who are adverse to superhero movies are already having fatigue.
Yeah,
I
they're
think that's
more
actually a really
critical.
good point.
Right.
Yeah, they're looking for things not to like about them.
Right.
Nope, that's a great point.
Iron Man was fresh at the time. All right.
So, in what might be our highest scoring game ever,
Oh, jeez.
the final scores are Chris and Leah with 238 points,
Oh God.
going all in on the final question. I'm sorry, I should have asked you guys to say what your wagers were.
Whatever it takes.
So Chris and Leah went all in on the final question, so they doubled their score to 238. And Steven wagered 130 on the final question.
Nicely done, Steven.
Which puts him at a whopping score of 266.
Wow.
Holy shit.
job.
So that was a great game, guys. That was a game right up until the end.
Oh my
gosh.
God.
I completely understand if you do not invite us, particularly me, back to.
Dude,
Right.
that was fun. It was fun. I am going to ride my wave of Catch 22 for like a solid 3 months now.
There you go.
Fair enough. Some catch that catch 22.
Just don't argue with me about Marvel or Disney princesses.
I didn't argue about Disney. But I will say Catch-22 is obviously Emmett Smith's favorite book. Oh,
I can't share a favorite book with a cowboy, so I'm gonna have to reconsider this whole thing.
All right. Steven, you're back in your winning ways, my friend.
Oh, it feels good, like sipping into a warm bath.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah, good game, Steven.
Good game.
Man. Leah, thank you for
close.
being my host, my partner tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If it was Jeff, we would not have scored anywhere near as high because Jeff and I are very similar in what we know.
And he would have criticized all the Marvel movies.
Yes,
True.
he would have.
That is true. Oh, did I mention my second beer of the evening? I don't think I did.
You did not, but throw it out there.
It's long gone now, but the second beer that I enjoyed this evening is the Kentucky Coffee Barrel Stout.
Mm.
It is brewed and bottled by Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company, established 1999. It is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, but it is very, very good because if there's two things that I love in terms of beer, it's coffee and stouts. So cannot complain. Maybe I'll be up all night. We'll see.
All right, everybody. Before we sign off here at the Pub Trivia Experience, if you've listened to our last couple episodes, you know we've talked about it a few times, but we are expanding not just what we do at the Pub Trivia Experience, but we're expanding our presence. So I cannot recommend enough that you follow us on Facebook search Pub Trivia Experience. We're up there. We have started doing live podcasts of both the Pub Trivia Experience and our spinoff podcast, Recast That, on our Facebook feed. If you want to see what we look like, which I don't know why anybody would, like I cannot caution you against that enough. But if you want to see what we look like, if you want to participate with us live, in person, in video, find us on Facebook as we really start to ramp up our video presence here at the Pub Trivia Experience. If you're in the Tampa area, every 2 weeks, the second and fourth Friday of every month, we will be doing a live show at Anclote Brew down in Tarpon Springs, Florida, right down on the beautiful Sponge Docks. Come out and see us, win some cash prizes, or win some bar cash for the Anclote Brew. I might highly recommend the gourmet grilled cheese with pulled pork. It's phenomenal. You will not be disappointed. But with all this being said, find us on Facebook and Instagram, Pub Trivia Experience, on Twitter at Pub Trivia Pod. Check our website, pubtriviaexperience.com, which, Stephen Ford, we still have not gotten your bio or your image for the Get to Know You section. But you will see Jeff, Marissa, myself, my lovely wife, Leah, Mike, and Nikki all on there with our bios and our pictures because, yes, that is what some of us look like. For the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
That was Steven.
Nikki.
I'm Leah.
I'm Mike.
Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you soon.
The dick in periodic is what